This is Another Man's Nostalgia with John.
Touch it, it falls. There you go. Good job.
Oh my god.
Nice and close.
Oh my god.
Here.
Chris.
It's like how when you're little and you go to see the Santa at the mall, you all think they all look the same, even though they're all different. The one I went to is the actual Santa. So,
Anyways,
And Justin.
whether it be better equipment, whether it be merchandise, whether it be
a gold hat for myself.
a gold hat for Justin.
The episode starts now.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to Another Man's Nostalgia, where we revisit everyone's favorite shows, movies, and games from the mid-90s to the mid-2000s. Speaking of 2000s, this movie was it was right before the 2000s that we just watched. It was Pokemon, the first movie.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test, to train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. It's you and me. I know it's my destiny. Pokemon, oh, you're my best friend in a world we must defend. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Our hearts so true, our courage will pull us through. You teach me and I'll teach you. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon.
No.
And I loved it. just throw that out there. I love this movie. I love Pokemon. Don't you guys love Pokemon?
The
Yeah.
only note I put in the show notes at first was this movie sucks ass. So to give you a view of what I'm gonna.
Well,
be
Justin,
talking
you
about
smell like
today.
ass. Okay, I
do.
put that out there.
So, Justin, you didn't like this movie. Did you like it when it came out?
No.
Lie!
How is this any different than the Pokemon show?
You're a fucking liar.
Because I didn't have to pay for the Pokemon show.
You didn't have to pay for this. Your parents did.
Got him.
All right, let me redo that. My parents had to pay for that crap,
And you felt
and I
bad.
feel
You
I
felt
actually
bad for 'em?
I actually felt sorry.
But
Did you
actually-
turn? So you were like maybe not. You were 9 years old, and you turned to your dad and you said, "Hey, Dad, I'm so sorry you had to pay
Pretty much.
$20 for this movie.
Pretty much.
It was trash, and I'm sorry.
Pretty much.
You did not
I was
do
very
that.
disappointed.
You did not. Whatever.
Okay. Why are you disappointed? I still don't see what the difference is between this and the actual show.
There's not. There's not a difference.
I think it was because it was billed as a movie and it's supposed to be epic
Yeah.
and crazy.
It was crazy.
Super crazy.
And
There was some animated stuff in there that wasn't in the movies
Yeah.
or in the show.
we'll get to it.
Okay. John, I liked this movie when I was little.
Yeah.
I went to the movie theater. I didn't care about the price because my parents paid. But I got the little Ancient Mew card. I was really into Mewtwo after I saw it. I wanted the psychic deck, which gave you a Mewtwo.
Yeah.
So I got that. I was really into
Mewtwo
it.
sucked as a card, though.
Yeah, he wasn't great.
No, it wasn't.
He also wasn't good as on the game, really. Or Super Smash Bros. Melee. He wasn't really good in that either.
You know what? It doesn't matter because
he's
in
good in
this
this.
movie he was freaking OP. He was OP in this
He
movie.
was. He was. Almost.
So this movie, it just basically is off of reality.
Not for the
In-
power
in
of
reality,
love.
Mewtwo is OP.
What about you,
So-
John?
There's no surprise that I love this movie. Growing up when I was little, I thought it was really, really cool because at the time you didn't see it, but there were some shows that kind of connected the storylines together when
Right.
it came to the movie and the TV show. So I thought that was pretty cool how you could see those similarities, and I was like, when I first saw this movie, I thought it was like the best thing I've probably ever seen in my entire life.
Okay. That's a little exaggeration.
Wow.
Right?
Hyperbole, little John.
I loved this movie. I
Uh-huh.
loved it. So
Okay.
no,
cool.
it was great.
All right.
It was great to me.
Did you see it with your grandma or anything? Or
No.
Okay. All right.
I don't remember who I saw it with. I just remember I thought it was awesome.
Any other deep stories?
Me and my friends talked about this movie probably about 2 months after it came out.
All right, Justin, do you want to say the plot?
Do I have to?
Yes, because you seem to really enjoy this.
Okay. Mewtwo gets boring.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, Mewtwo gets boring?
Boring, sorry.
Okay.
Born.
Mewtwo is born from Mew.
Yeah.
He gets really angry that they want to experiment on him, so he runs away.
Yep.
Then we cut to Ash and friends. He gets an invitation from a Dragonite, which was cool to see Dragonite.
Yeah.
All right. He gets an invitation. All these other trainers are there. There's a storm. So they get through the storm with Squirtle somehow on Squirtle's back.
Yes.
I don't know. They get to the island. Turns out it's Nurse Joy there who was missing. They meet Mewtwo. It turns out she was being controlled.
Yeah.
Mewtwo's being controlled?
Twist. Nurse Joy was being controlled.
Yeah.
You know what a twist?
It was a twist.
Uh,
Blew
yeah.
my mind.
Anyways,
Good.
so Mewtwo says he's gonna rule the world. Pokemon are not slaves. They try to fight him. He's really strong, so they challenge him to a battle, and he battles them with his own slaves.
I didn't even think about it like that.
He wins, obviously.
Yeah.
He tries to capture all the Pokemon. He does. Then Ash goes down in there, saves all the Pokemon. They have a big climactic fight
Yep.
where they
They're,
lazily hit each other.
the brothers fight the brothers.
Yeah.
Brother, my brother.
Ash sacrifices himself. I say with quotes. The Pokemon cry all over him.
Yeah.
He's alive because he gets turned to stone for
Yeah.
some reason.
He's petrified.
That's right.
And then Mewtwo says, "Fuck all that. I'm gonna erase your memories." So
He
you don't
learned
think I'm-"
Mewtwo learned
He learned a
valuable
lesson. He
Yes.
learned a great
What-
lesson.
Whatever. he goes away. He wipes all the memories.
And I think we all learned a valuable lesson from Mewtwo.
We did.
Yeah, don't watch this
did.
movie again. But there it is.
All right.
Mewtwo's a humongous ass. He learns a lesson and wipes everybody's memory so they don't remember he's an ass.
Okay, hey Justin, you ready for some fun facts? I need a fun facts theme.
All right, here we go. Pokemon the movie. Tell me why are we watching this? This movie sucks complete ass. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. This movie premiered in Japan in 1998. Premiered in the U.S. in '99. Its first weekend, it grossed $31 million and beat like if you were comparing it to other movies that were coming around that time, it beat Titanic in its opening weekend. It beat Toy Story in its opening weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's
those
surprising.
are two big.
How
names.
many? How
This
many?
was peak Pokemon, and you got free cards.
Yeah. How many of those kids were upset afterwards that their parents paid for it?
Hand up.
So many, so many. No,
I think it's the only person who saw through the bullshit.
over.
I think I was
You were that one unique kid that
I like
just
to think
saw
I
through
was. Yes,
everything,
I think
right?
I would think I'm
The day afterwards, everyone went to school and everyone's like, "That was so cool." Just like, I didn't like it. It didn't really make sense to me.
Look, here's a list.
Too many plot holes.
There's a short before this movie that we didn't see that
Yeah.
introduced a couple of like new Pokemon, like some Meryl was introduced.
Oh, is this kind
This
of?
is before Gold and Silver.
This is so this is before Gold and Silver, and this is like the introduction of some of the new Pokemon.
That's right. And Pikachu
in
meets
this
them all,
movie.
right? Pikachu meets them all, or something.
Yeah, in the short.
Yeah.
He meets two new Pokemon that you don't really know anything
Pikachu's
about.
Wild Orgy Brigade. Is that what it's called?
I don't know what it's called.
Pikachu's new friend.
Pikachu's new day. Pikachu's day. I don't know. But
Pikachu discovers himself.
you also see a new Pokemon when Ash battles him at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah, they never say the name. It's really annoying. I remember being
forgot what the
annoyed
name-
about that.
I forgot the name
It's
of it, but-
Domfan.
Dolphin, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, you see that Pokemon for the first time, and you're like, what the hell is that? I
Yeah.
have no idea. It's a Pokemon, though. The person that voiced Mewtwo was a big significant part of the movie. There was actually two people that voiced Mewtwo. I only know the main one. But at the very beginning of the movie, I don't know if you guys saw this part, but I watched 2 versions of this movie, and it was the Japan version, the Pocket Monsters one. It was weird because the one I saw, it said actual Pocket Monsters like on the title.
Really?
Instead of Pokemon.
Oh, do you
yeah.
want the name of the actual Pikachu movie? Pikachu's Vacation.
There you
That's
go.
right.
There you go. Yeah,
You're all close.
totally.
Oh, of course.
So close. Mewtwo is voiced by Philip Bartlett. I don't know if you know who that is.
No.
But he's
Oh,
supposed
yes,
to be.
yes, yes.
Yeah, of course. He's supposed to be like some famous.
He sounded
Voice
familiar,
guy.
but I couldn't.
Yeah,
think of what it
he's supposed to be some. I don't know what else he's voiced, but he's supposed to be famous
was. Okay,
in the voicing world.
of course.
Sorry, Philip Bartlett.
All right, so there was a really important scene that you guys missed at the very beginning of this movie, and it was Mewtwo's birth.
No, we saw
And
that.
No, what you guys saw was Mewtwo waking up.
Oh, okay.
So you actually see Mewtwo's birth, where he's a very small Mewtwo, and he goes into like this dream world that he sees Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and
Charmander.
and they're clones. And it's like at the very beginning of this movie, you hear the guy, like the version that you guys heard. You're the first one to have lived through the cloning process,
Right.
or something like that. So you see other Pokemon that have died throughout. Like you actually see them die. Like they disappear in the dream, and that's them dead.
Interesting. Okay.
So Mewtwo also meets this girl in this kind of dream that he's having, because he's connecting to all the Pokemon that are around him. So he also meets this dream girl, and this dream girl
what a dream
is
girl.
See?
and
Is liking Pokemon being a furry?
Yeah.
Comment down below.
is the
If there's a way to
daughter.
comment.
I mean, it
is
probably
the-
is.
So the it's a
Any
very
furry
small girl. It's a
specialists
very
out
little
there?
girl. She's
Oh,
probably
okay.
like 4 years old.
Okay,
something like that.
inappropriate. Sorry.
Yeah, inappropriate. But he sees her in the dream, and you find out this little girl is the spirit of the main doctor that made him.
Okay.
So you know the guy that has
Yeah.
like a weird shaped head,
Yeah.
and you see him in the movie. And he explains to everyone like, "We've created the strongest Pokemon, and we
Right.
succeed." Yeah.
Wait, that's
That
his
guy.
spirit?
So yeah,
Is
so
a little
there's-
girl?
There's
he's a pervert,
his little girl
obviously.
died, and he somehow created her spirit. But then in the movie, the spirit dies, and the only one that's left out of this dream is Mewtwo. And Mewtwo gets really upset, and he starts to cry. And the little girl, right before she fades away and she dies, she says, "Oh, you're crying. Pokemon. My dad told me one day." Pokemon, when they cry, they have there's like life in those tears.
Oh. So it explains the ending.
So it explains the ending of the movie.
That's still
It's like a foreshadowing.
so fucking stupid.
So
Justin, that would have made it worth it when you were little.
No. So he fucking in a dream world, and he sees dead Pokemon and a dead girl, and that's how they're gonna explain away the tears.
Yeah.
yeah, so that's Justin or Chris is so accepting to this. And Justin's like, that's so stupid. But yeah, anyway, so they didn't show any of that in the movie theaters. They showed that in the Japanese version, and then later on they dubbed it and showed it and like included it into the movie in like the DVD version.
Okay.
So if you didn't buy the DVD version of this, you didn't see that.
I had the
scene.
VHS. I didn't have the DVD.
Yeah, so it was like a special on the DVD.
Oh, I got like
version of
all the
that
copies.
one part. So
I
what
have
you
every
guys
special
saw,
edition.
what you guys saw at the very beginning of the movie was Mewtwo waking up and he's like pissed off.
Oh.
And so the reason he's pissed off is because the last thing he remembers is the little girl and the Pokemon that he saw died.
Okay.
That's the last thing he remembers. And you think that he's just pissed off because
They made them.
they made him and
Well, he
he's
talked
like
about
slaves
how-
and all that stuff.
He talked
And
about how he heard
that-
they're gonna experiment on
Yeah,
him.
and that does make him mad, but the full reason that the director said that he's pissed off is because he just saw, like, the last thing you remember is seeing those people die, and he
Interesting.
was upset.
Okay.
And so that's why he destroyed everything. And it's one of my favorite scenes in the movie where the guy, he goes,
We dreamed of creating the world's strongest Pokemon. And we succeeded.
Yeah.
and then Mewtwo just kills all the scientists.
That's a pretty cool scene.
I thought it was cool. I think it was cool, but I thought it was weird because that's like the first time you see actual people die from a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they die. I thought it was weird.
Good.
So the first scene, it wasn't supposed to be in the movie. It was supposed to be in the TV show. So the movie was supposed to pick up where Ash battles that guy,
Yeah.
and you weren't even supposed to see Mewtwo until he dropped down from the island. But what happened was that first scene was supposed to be in the show, but the show had to take like a couple months hiatus because of the Polygon episode. Do you guys know about the Polygon
Oh
episode?
yeah, so when they aired in Japan, caused seizures because of the there's blinking lights, right? There was basically what I guess Porygon's attack or something. It was like a strobe lights. So the strobe effect. So they had to cancel that episode.
Yeah, but because of that, Pokemon took like a really big hit so the show had to go on hiatus for a couple months.
There was also the
And they-
James cross dressing and
Yeah.
and the guns that they had to edit out.
So
they took that scene. They were gonna take that scene. That scene was not supposed to be in the movie, but because of that hiatus thing, they added that scene in the movie to explain like what Mewtwo was, because it was supposed to be you were supposed to see Mewtwo before in the actual show, and then you would see him in the movie and you would have that connection.
Well, if you played the
But-
games, you would.
That's
know.
pretty cool.
yeah,
It's
but
cool
you
they
wouldn't.
tied.
But so all the episodes that have Mewtwo and have like things of the movie in the show, it had to happen after the movie.
Because they're just ripping this straight from the game plot.
So when Gary fought Giovanni, that was after the movie came out? Because I remember watching that episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the episode that aired with him fighting Giovanni, it aired after the movie because of this whole entire thing with Polygon.
Interesting.
You had a complaint that it had that part in the movie where it explained
Yeah.
with Team Rocket. They
Yeah.
found that video.
Yeah.
That was the first time that you were supposed to see what happened to Mewtwo, and that's why that scene was in
Oh,
there.
okay. Well, we can
So-
talk about that when we get to it.
Yeah.
it's almost
but-
like you could edit
Well,
things.
But that
in the movie.
but that would have made this movie like barely an hour long if they left that part out.
Yep.
That's crazy. It's almost like had on TV, you know?
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to get into some plots, favorite
Yeah.
plot points,
I
favorite.
just want to say that first.
That's interesting. Okay, so I like the first scene when Ash is fighting. What's his name?
A Don fan.
Yeah, and and they have the music playing, like the Pokemon music. It's a pretty cool
Yeah.
scene.
No, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All the animation, like that's the first time that you saw that type of animation when it came to those type of moves.
Yeah.
'Cause so you had Solar Beam, like Solar Beam didn't look like that in the show, and then you had Bubble Beam didn't look like that in the show.
Yeah.
It was like really cool animation that the Pokemon were doing. I thought it was cool. The
That's cool.
moves. Giovanni is Team Rocket's like main guy.
He's the boss.
He's the boss of Team Rocket. And Giovanni is, you find out that he's the guy that created Mewtwo and like wants Mewtwo to like come with them to be partners.
Yeah.
But really he's just manipulating Mewtwo.
Right.
And then he puts like some stupid armor on him to like try to control him. I don't know. I thought that was the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
I think the
I thought the
point
armor
was he
looked
wanted to
stupid,
control
too.
his power.
Yeah, it helped Mewtwo control his power, but I don't know. I just thought that was stupid.
It's dumb. You're right. It's completely dumb.
And I thought the armor was like bulky. It didn't even look cool. I didn't think it looked cool when I was little either. I thought that was stupid.
It's because Mewtwo's got big front butt.
Well, I think it makes
Front
sense.
butt. I've never heard that before. He's got
It's
a
true,
big
though.
front butt.
I think though, if they would have had, I think the reason they put the armor on him like that was because if the Gary scene was supposed to air before, I think it was supposed to be a mystery of what
that
Pokemon
makes
it was.
sense.
But
That
his
makes
his
sense.
picture was all over the things. And if you watched Pokemon as a kid, you played the games. You know
Well,
who
you're-
fucking Mewtwo is.
The tail would have given it away for sure.
You knew who fucking Mewtwo was.
Yeah.
What the heck?
No, that is a really good point. I didn't even think about that.
I think that's what it
It's so it hid his identity in the show.
Yeah. So and then other scenes I liked was when you meet Mewtwo. That's pretty cool when he comes down.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
when you meet Mewtwo,
Uh-huh.
it's awesome. That's the first time you were supposed to see Mewtwo in the movie.
Yeah.
And it was a really iconic part of it. I
Yeah.
thought it was cool before.
Iconic.
It was.
They made posters
When-
of it. When they make YouTube clips of the greatest movie scenes in the world, number 5 is Mewtwo coming down.
Okay, that might not be one of them, but there is definitely one in this movie. I think that's pretty iconic, and we'll get to it.
I thought it when I was little. I remember this scene when I was little.
Yeah.
Seeing him not for the first time, but seeing him come down without his armor and he was just kind of hovering there. I
Yeah.
thought it was so cool.
It's pretty cool. What else y'all like about it?
I thought I also thought it was cool that he like tested all all the trainers
Yeah.
to get to the island, because you had like so many people that he invited, and he's like, you know what? I want people that actually want to be here to come, and he set out this storm.
Yeah, that's
which,
pretty cool.
That's a weird. I didn't know he could do that. I
Yeah.
didn't know that was a move that you two knew, that he could make a storm.
I guess it would be. There's a movie you can do water. You make rain.
Surf?
No, you can change the weather, but that doesn't come to like Gen 3.
Okay.
There is a weather changing move where you can there's like a sunny day and a hail.
Yeah.
Like you change the weather, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get
Did you guys like the NFL Vikings joke that they did?
what?
Oh, that's right. I did hear that.
On the way to the island, they were riding on a boat with Team Rocket, and they go,
I didn't know Vikings still existed.
They mostly live in Minnesota.
That's right.
That's so stupid.
Okay, so before we get into all the plot holes, that we'll kind of finish out the plot. What do y'all have anything else good you want to talk about? We talk about the iconic scene of Pikachu trying to wake him up after he turns into stone.
The only good thing I liked was you actually saw trainers who nicknamed their Pokemon.
Yeah, that's kind of cool because you didn't really see it before.
Yeah, you don't really see that in the show. You
Yeah.
always see the trainers call them by their name.
But then you had that iconic scene, right, of Pikachu trying to wake up Ash.
Okay, why are we throwing around iconic?
That is the iconic
I had
scene.
more of an emotional scene when Pikachu was trying to get caught by the Pokeballs, and he just
You thought that was more emotional than the scene of him trying to wake him up?
When I was little, I thought the scene waking him up was more emotional. First time I saw this movie,
Yeah.
watching it right now, I felt more of an attachment when Pikachu was running away from the Pokeballs
Interesting.
than
Okay.
that one.
What about what are your favorite characters? Y'all have favorite characters?
No.
I guess Mew. Mew is cool. How he was all playful and stuff.
Mew is cool, yeah.
Yeah.
He had that very playful.
Yeah. Until he had
playful
to
side to him until
turn it on.
Until you had to turn it on.
he did.
Oh yes, that
Ramped
iconic
it
scene when he said mew 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 mew.
No, the
Mew,
iconic
mew,
scene is
mew.
Pikachu trying to wake him up. You've seen the meme and stuff, and people talk about that scene still.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that meme.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Justin anything Pokemon. This is weird. Anything Pokemon like that we've talked about, it's his show and he kind of defends it.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to this Pokemon movie,
that should tell you how bad it
kind
is.
of ramped up
It's the
Pokemon
exact
into like
same
the
thing.
stratosphere, he doesn't like it.
I'm sorry. I was really excited about that movie, and it just did not do it for me when I was a kid.
You're wrong.
I was really happy. No, I
You're
am
wrong.
completely
You're just
right.
wrong. I don't know what you.
All right, let's do the actual plot, aka the least favorite parts of those
Plot.
stories.
Plot, he says in parentheses,
Okay.
in quotes.
I thought one of my most famous or the favorite plot points, and you guys disagree with it, that's fine, was when Mewtwo was trying to capture all the Pokemon and of all the trainers.
Right,
So
'cause-
he could clone them.
So he wants to get all of them to clone him. Why?
So because he wanted to show everyone that
That's the
I
exact
know
reason.
he proved
Why did he do it?
He proved already he proved already that his clones were stronger
Yeah.
than like their Pokemon.
Right.
In my point of view, because he wanted to just rule the world, he wanted to clone all the Pokemon so the Pokemon would just kill each other. Like his Pokemon would kill the other Pokemon.
But
This is
then
what he was mad at.
what's he gonna do with the Pokemon once they're done? Killing everybody.
This is what he
What do you
hated.
mean? What does he want to do? With
He
his
said
Pokemon?
this
What does he want to do with his
specifically.
clones?
Yeah.
I don't know. Rule them.
He said, all right, he was like, these Pokemon, all right, they shouldn't be slaves. They shouldn't. And Pikachu's like, no, they're your friends. Like, they're not your friends. Blah blah blah. You're their slaves. And then he comes out with his own slaves.
That's right.
Then he wants to control them.
Yeah.
You know, he has no purpose. He's just pissed off.
Yeah.
He lost. All right, whatever actual meaning he had beforehand. Okay, he was pissed that people made him. He was pissed that the clones died. That's perfectly a good reason why to be mad. Because he's a clone himself.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine to be mad about that. That's a good motivation. But that's not his motivation in this movie.
Yeah.
It's, I'm pissed off. I'm going to rule the world. all right, I'm gonna make clones of my own slaves.
So
All right, and then I'm gonna go just kill everybody because I'm pissed off.
I'm thinking he probably wanted all Pokemon to be clones instead of all Pokemon wanting.
Because he can control them. Because he wants to be
No.
the master.
Well,
he even says, "I am the greatest Pokemon trainer."
He does say that. But he's a clone, and he's trying to prove that clones are better than the originals. So I'm thinking he just wants to clone all the Pokemon and just kill all the other Pokemon. So he probably, what I'm thinking is he wants to clone every single type of Pokemon, and then just kill them.
So he can
Kill
rule
the
them.
original ones.
Very confusing.
I don't know.
His
I don't know
process-
his end game here. I
That's the
just know
issue.
what he's telling everyone, and he's telling everyone that clones are better than the originals, and he
Yeah.
wants to prove it.
Justin, you wanted to bring up something about Pidgeot and Pidgeotto. I didn't catch it.
Okay, so there are a few
Yeah.
things that
There's
are some errors.
Okay.
So the first error was that Pidgeot is obviously not Pidgeotto. So the guy who flies and he's like, "This is my Pidgeotto. We flew over." Well, Pidgeotto is really small,
yeah.
and Pidgeot and he has shorter feathers.
That was a dub mess up.
I decided to fly over. It was easy. Hurricane winds are a breeze for Pidgeotto here.
And Pidgeot
So
had
the
the longer
Japan, so the
feathers.
Japanese version had it correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when they're doing the Who's That Pokemon game, it wasn't whoever they said, it was Scyther and Sandslash.
So they left this one in there because
Stupid.
they wanted the audience to be like, "Hey, that's wrong, Team Rocket. It's this Pokemon."
Bullshit. Do you really believe that?
Yeah, no, that's what the director said. He said,
Of course
we
he
put
said that.
We put that mistake in on purpose," and he admits it. He goes, "You know what? We messed up on the Pidgeotto Pidgeot thing. That's a mess up." And they messed up on Sandshrew and Sandslash.
That's what I just said.
They said, "No, you said."
I said Scyther and Sandslash.
No, Sandslash and Sand. Oh, you said okay.
They said Sandshrew.
yeah.
And it was
they
supposed to be
and
Sandslash.
it's supposed to be Sandslash. He admits on both of those that he was wrong. But on the Who's That Pokemon, because it's such a famous game that everyone plays in the show, they wanted Team Rocket to say, "Hey, this is Alakazam," and they wanted the audience to say, "Hey, no, that's not Alakazam. That's
I think it makes sense for a little kids movie.
yeah."
But I think it's annoying they didn't put that scene in there. They don't even have Who's That Pokemon. It's annoying. They did like three times.
Team Rocket even said it too. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who's that Pokemon?
I'm smelling bullshit, but we can move on.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we have the iconic Brothers.
Yeah,
So what's
no.
up with this Brothers song? Is there any kind of fun facts about it?
There's not any kind of fun facts about it. They just
'Cause
kind
there's
of put it
nothing
in
fun
there.
about it.
Oh, okay. So
Brother, my brother, tell me what are we fighting for? We got to end this war. We should love one another. Oh, can we just pretend this war never began? We can try, brother, my brother.
I got something to say about the whole like album when it came to the songs
Okay.
and how they dubbed it and everything. So the Japanese staff, when there was some stuff added to the American one that wasn't in the Japanese one. The tears, they weren't in there, and when Mewtwo was having all of the Pokemon fight,
Yeah.
they didn't use any of their abilities because Mewtwo in the American version said, "I'm going to suppress everyone's ability, so they're just doing physical attacks to each other."
Okay.
So that's why you never saw like Fire Blast, you never saw anyone do anything.
Anything cool?
Yeah, anything cool, because it would have been just like a shit show. It would have been crazy.
Yeah.
So they didn't have that in the Japanese version, and everyone kept wondering in in Japan, like why aren't they using their abilities?
Right.
So in the American version, they fixed a bunch of the dubbed, and they added a lot more music to it.
Gotcha.
And the staff loved it. The Japanese staff loved everything that they did. So like the
What?
song, they loved it.
That's awesome.
God.
I like the Psyducks fighting where they just like slapping each other really slowly. That's kind of funny.
I thought that was kind of funny.
Pikachu slapping each other is great.
Whatever.
Pika!
I had a huge argument about this. So all the humans, they're sitting back and they're saying, and they're so sad, and they go, these Pokemon are killing each other.
Right.
Like, this is awful. Like, they shouldn't be doing this. They keep saying that they should all stop. The freaking humans can have them stop at any point by just returning their Pokemon.
That's a
All
good
right,
point.
counterpoint. What if they let them go, they all just get mauled by the other Pokemon? So, like, the minute they let go, those other Pokemon just charge, and there's just body and blood
They
everywhere.
just kill the humans.
I mean, wasn't that what's going to happen?
Yeah.
I don't
Mewtwo's
know.
going to kill him, so he's like, all right. And you just see Charizard ripping up bodies.
You would think that Mewtwo's plan would just be to bring everybody to this island and just blow up the island. Or like get all the Pokemon, save the Pokemon, let them go free, and just kill all the humans.
Or just go around and start killing people.
Yeah.
Like, you're fucking psychic, and you got your little barrier. Just start going around the town and go, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead.
There was a
Fuck
couple. There was a
you,
couple
you're
moves
dead.
by these
Yeah.
Pokemon on the island that didn't exist in the game. They didn't exist in the universe beforehand. They added a bunch of things in this movie. They added Pokemon. They added Pokemon's moves. Like Mewtwo does Shadow Ball. I don't know. You guys remember that like ball that he
black,
makes?
yeah.
That's black. That wasn't a move in the game.
He also
before
does
that.
turn people to stone.
Yeah. So, Ash, to get them to all stop, which is a stupid plot point, to get them to stop,
Say that a lot,
this
that one.
idiot goes in the middle of a blast
Between Mew and Mewtwo.
between Mew and Mewtwo and thinks that that's going to stop the fight in some type of way.
Yeah,
I don't know what he
I
was
don't know what his
thinking.
thought was. He
So-
turns into stone.
He turns to stone. He gets
And apparently
petrified.
Mewtwo was sad. They're like, oh, you fool. Like, why do you fucking care? You're going to kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
You just said, oh, enjoy the rest of your puny lives.
Yeah.
I
So-
won't kill you here, I'll kill you later.
Yeah. So Ash gets petrified, turned to stone, and Pikachu, just like you were saying, it's the saddest
God.
scene.
Yeah.
Pikachu tries to shock him to get him
Yep.
to wake up.
Pikachu, Pikachu.
Please, no.
Pikachu.
But you know what does it? Magical tears that we
Magical
talked about
tears,
in the
which they
beginning.
explained it. They explained it. You just didn't see it. They explained it that Pokemon's tears have life in them.
I'm really surprised that they didn't have Meowth explain it like they had him explain everything else. That scene was so annoying. It was like the clone Meowth was like, Meow? He's like, what are you saying? You think this is not cool for us to do? Meowth. Oh, you're right. I don't know why we were fighting Meowth. Oh my gosh, it's so long.
You mean we don't have to fight with each other? But how can I trust you? You was born different. I almost made a clawful mistake. But how do I know you're not gonna pull a fast one on me? You're right. We do have a lot in common.
Oh, it's terrible.
I thought it was weird that that was the only one that wasn't fighting. Like
Yeah.
Meowth was the only one that
I
wasn't
know, it's
fighting.
weird. They're sitting there talking.
They're just sitting there chilling and talking.
And the magical tears bring him back. And then
The magical. So when I first saw this movie, I was like, this shit is magic. Like I didn't know magic existed in the Pokemon world. But yeah,
nope, it's explained in the
it's
Japanese
explained
version.
in the Japanese version that
And then
that Pokemon
Mewtwo
have
decides,
tears that have life in them.
Mewtwo decides to run away with all the clones and Mew, and he just wipes their
And
memory.
then wipes everyone's memory at the very end of the movie, so no one remembers what happened.
I wish it would wipe my memory.
That
I wish Mewtwo came out and wiped my memory of that movie.
This movie
Okay.
is so bad. I'm gonna grant you a wish.
I do not remember this plot point until I watched this movie, and I thought it was shitty.
Yeah, it's
I thought it
pretty
was
bad.
so. Did you remember?
Oh, you
this
thought that
happening
was
Yeah, I
shitty.
remember
when you were a
it.
kid?
I remember it.
Then wiping the memory.
now it's shitty.
I did not.
I remembered it.
Now it's bad.
I think
This was the breaking point.
I don't.
This was the last straw. Okay,
This is when the
movie.
shit bag hit the
No.
fan. And
It was perfect until here.
no. It was perfect until there. No, I'm joking. No, this movie did have some bad points to it, but
Some?
I thought it had some good points too,
I think it
in
did
my
too.
opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I saw that he wiped everyone's memory, and then everyone's like, "How did we end up at this island?" And then Ash is like, "We're here because we're here."
I wipe my memory all the time. I don't know how it happens. This is perfectly normal for me. Okay, so then do y'all have any least favorite characters?
Everyone. I hate Ash.
You like Ash in this one?
I don't like Ash in this one.
Really?
He's more stupid than usual.
Yeah.
Because at least when he's stupid in the show, it's just kind of funny. Here, it's just stupid.
I kind of hated the fat trainer that had all the water Pokemon. That was very arrogant.
Yeah.
I kind of hate that guy.
I liked all the characters. I thought it was great. Really fleshed out.
I like Nurse Joy and Jenny.
Was there any dating?
Oh yeah. Show both of them.
Which one did you like better than this one?
Oh man,
Joy was brainwashed. I mean, that's
she was a slave. That's kind of sexy.
she did have that uniform on.
I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, Officer Jenny threatened to arrest people, so I don't know if you're into that either.
And I do like a woman who takes charge.
It really just depends on your fetish, really.
So in the comments, wherever there's a comment,
it's two sides. It's two sides here.
Wherever you're able to comment, who's your favorite in this movie?
Okay, all right. Okay.
I like Pikachu.
You like Pikachu?
I like Pikachu.
Pikachu's good. Yeah.
Pikachu was a good character.
Yeah.
He didn't talk a lot.
No.
He just said Pikachu. But
I thought the animation was very bad.
Really?
I thought the animation held up.
So I'm not. I thought it was really choppy.
Okay.
I didn't think for a movie that it was done very well. I think when you're doing a movie like this, usually you up the animation quality, right?
Okay.
That was one of my issues. It was just like the show. It looks like they did it.
So you would have preferred it to see like how Rugrats, how it was a lot better animation.
Yeah, like when you're doing a movie, you should
have
up the ante.
Budget.
Higher budget. And now when you look at it, they have like 30 fucking now Pokemon movies, but they still up the animation in some of them. I think I watched up till the third Pokemon movie.
Yeah, me too.
And I stopped. But especially in the second and third, at least they up the animation quality. There's no addition in animation quality here. It's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest issues with the movie is that it felt like, of course it's a cash grab. Of course it is, but it felt even more like a cash grab when I was watching this. I'm like, it's like they didn't even try.
I was actually about to say that. I think it is a cash grab. The fact they wouldn't...
of course it is. Obviously it is.
Right, but the fact they wouldn't even update the Pidgeotto line, like I'm sure someone caught it before it was released, I imagine. And they'd probably just be like, well, whatever. It's going to make money.
This is what you have to understand. Every movie is a cash grab.
Sure.
All right, even the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
But the difference between that is there's some care put into the product.
Yeah.
Because like Pokemon, it's a little different because it's a kid's thing.
Right.
I get that. I'm slicing things with little kid stuff. But that's what we're doing. What we do here. Yeah. All right? You could still have decent to good animation in something like this, especially when it's your first movie of something that big.
I agree with you.
I want to compare it to the Power Ranger movie for a second. All right?
Okay, come on.
We all know the Power Ranger movie sucks.
It does.
Okay? But, all right, they did up the quality of what they were doing.
Did they?
They jumped out of a plane.
But no,
did they?
No, I'm not talking about the writing.
They sure upped the quality to those other characters that they had. They look completely different than the show.
What about that awesome CGI?
CGI was awesome.
I was about to get to that.
Ooze.
Okay, good.
Ooze was good.
But think about it. They had new suits.
Uh-huh.
They had all this new stuff. They had even the villain suits were new, and
Wait,
it looked,
is that
looked
really...
like. Just listen
and
to my point.
instead of walking, they backflipped around.
I won't interrupt. I'll listen.
Instead of
listen
walking,
to my point. They upped the ante. They put money into it.
Yeah.
Right? Because they knew, okay, we just need to upgrade it a little bit, and we're going to make more money.
Sure.
It's a movie thing. It needs to be done bigger, and it was done bigger.
Yeah.
They went to another world. Yes, it was bullshit. There was bad CGI. It was not a good movie.
Yeah.
But they still put a little bit more into it than they would.
And instead of walking, they all did backflips.
Yes. There's a good stunt budget.
Okay.
But and at least they tried to up the ante. There was no up the ante in this Pokemon movie.
I kind of agree.
I disagree.
Like, I think that the movie show, like the Power Rangers movie showed that this is what it would look like if every single episode had movie budget. This show was pretty much the exact same.
The quality of how they did it is not the point. Is that they tried to up the ante. Yes, they failed miserably.
Yep.
It was a shitty movie, but they tried. Pokemon made a shitty movie and has shitty animation.
I disagree with that. I think the moves, if you go back and look at Pokemon, and you go back and look at the moves and the animation that they use when it comes to the moves in the movie, they are absolutely completely different.
But that's
the main thing that people look for. That's the main thing that why people get excited.
It's not. But it's not about. It's not about that they added a few moves. It's about the way they drew the movie itself.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about with the way. What I'm talking about is the way that they drew the moves that they're using. The way that they drew the shadow ball that Mew's.
But that's design.
The way that. No, I'm talking about the clarity of the thing. They upped it. When it came to the Ash battle at the very beginning, Bubble Beam and Solar Beam and none of those moves looked like the moves that were in the actual TV show.
Just because they made some moves look a little nicer doesn't mean the animation quality was better. It was still basically a TV show animation. There was nothing crisp about it. There was nothing colorful or boom about it. Even back then without crystal clear HD in a TV, you could tell the difference between good animation versus bad animation. This was not good animation. Yes, they changed some things. Yes, they did something different with the TV show. But the actual drawings themselves, the character designs, the actual quality of how it looked was the same as the show, and that's really disappointing. Just because they changed designs.
Well, they drew the characters the same.
That's the problem. They drew it the same.
They could have made it a little better.
They could have made it smoother. They could have took more time on it.
I don't know if
they could have done computer.
I don't know if this movie came out in HD or not. Do you know if it came out?
Well,
in
no,
HD?
it's going to be in HD in the theaters.
But I mean like shading, like stuff like that. If you compare Rugrats at the time to the movie had a lot more, like a better animation because they put time into it.
TV show animation looks the way it does. At least back then, because they had to hand draw it, or it was really crudely done on a computer and it had to be done fast.
Yeah.
All right. That's why it looks the way it does. When they were given a movie budget, they were able to take a couple of years to physically draw and put more detail into things.
Another good example is Hey Arnold Jungle Movie also had really good animation.
Fuck that whole idea of a movie.
I think that they kept it the same or kept it similar because the two stories from the TV show and from the movie correlated with each other.
Or they could have redone all of that and put it into the movie and redrawn it. And that's why it was definitely a huge cash grab. Nothing wrong with that. Because it's Pokemon.
It was also a cash grab.
I agree that it was a cash grab, but I disagree with your points. I agree that it was drawn similar to like the TV show, but I think that they wanted to keep that specific characteristic from the TV show to make it almost correlate with each other. That the TV show and the movie, it's almost like they're one specific story.
And that's the problem.
If they drew the movie differently or made it like completely different than the actual TV show, you wouldn't say that they're like the same thing. They would say that they're two different stories, which in reality they're the same.
They can still connect and look nicer. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Yeah. The reason I think it should be, the reason I feel like it's kind of a cash grab is because of the fact that they, like it was literally like an hour long. Like it was almost as long as it was 2 episodes put together basically, and I feel like that was a little cheap also. But anyways,
so last thing I want to say about this movie.
Okay, we'll do final thoughts. Then.
There was a trailer that came out for this movie.
Oh.
And it had a little girl in it with a very old Misty. Very old Misty. So, like, she almost looked like 40s, 50s.
Okay.
So, and there was a little girl rocking next to her. Nothing was said about this girl, like, in the movie. She wasn't shown in the movie. Like, they took this part out. And the director didn't say anything about it or anything like that. So everyone speculates that this girl was Ash and Misty's daughter.
Okay.
And that the series was supposed to end after like this movie, or like the very end of that scene was supposed to like air.
The sex scene.
Huh? The sex scene.
Okay.
The sex scene. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It was supposed to air at the very
Pikachu's Wild Orgy, party.
It was supposed to air in the movie, and then it was supposed to air at the very end of the series after Gen 2 because the movie was supposed to correlate with the very end of the Pokemon series. But they decided not to go that direction to get more money, and they just kept continuing after Gen 2 and went to Gen 55, whatever they're in right now.
I think the next game will be Gen 8.
They could have ended the story though and just had like a new trainer, but I guess they like Ash, and so they wanted to keep Ash.
I thought it would have been cool if they would have ended it after Gen 2 with Ash,
Yeah.
and then maybe...
Brought on
I don't know,
Mewtwo. Mewtwo's a trainer. Like he
Yeah,
said.
Mewtwo's a Pokemon trainer.
he has Ash's hat on.
Every time
Dude,
he's,
Ash's vest.
yeah, every time he's about to lose, he's like
And he's
blows up
really
the
easy to
Pokemon.
animate because he doesn't have a mouth.
That's true. That's true. All right.
He just...
You challenge me to a battle?
Yeah, his last Pokemon that he chooses is himself.
Every time somebody challenges to a battle,
he just rips out all of his clothes.
every time somebody challenges to a
You
battle,
gotta fight me now.
he just blows the other Pokemon up.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, hey,
It's okay, I have magical tears.
Was Mew freaking OP in this movie?
Mew or Mewtwo?
Mewtwo, I'm sorry.
They both were. Mew and Mewtwo were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy.
It was.
He could do so many things. I thought it was the coolest thing when I was little.
You
Yeah.
can turn
I was
people
like,
into
this
stone.
dude can throw people. This
Yeah.
dude can create storms. This
Yeah.
dude has like all these like freaking energy balls. What the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
All right. Final thoughts. Justin, automatic point. Everything you said just makes you think that you're going to give automatic point here.
Okay, so I got 1 point now. Chris, we don't even have to hear from Justin.
You go first,
Mute his
Chris.
mic.
You want me
Mute
to go
his
first?
mic.
You go
Mute his mic.
first.
All right. I'll go first. Okay. So it is a cash grab,
What?
but
It's so surprising.
That's not the issue.
but I don't think it's any worse than the show. And the show I gave Justin half a point, so I'm gonna give you half a point.
Wow.
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
It's fast. If it was like a 3 hour long movie, I'm like, oh, it sucks. But it was barely an hour. It was really breezy. The plot was interesting, even though it didn't make much sense. It was fine. I don't care about like the Pokemon like the idea like the saga or the storyline. I don't care that they all forgot everything at the end. I mean, yeah, it was stupid.
I
but,
cared about that. That
but
kind
it
of
was
ruined
just
it for me.
it was just a movie. It was fine.
Yeah.
I liked it when I was little. I like it now a little bit. I don't like it. I don't think I want to watch it again. But it's not because I hated it. It's because it was just I've seen it again. It's fine. Half a point.
It's not worth another watch.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not worth another watch.
Yeah.
There's certain movies out there you're like, I've seen it once, I don't need to see it again.
Yeah. How about you, Justin? A point. We got it.
Mute his mic. Mute his
I
mic. Go to me and then you
I
say close
understand.
it.
I understand your argument that it's like the show.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. But the problem is the show is what? How many episodes? Hundreds of episodes.
Yeah.
And it's meant to be a weekly thing. Okay, your stories aren't going to be as strong. Okay, that's fine. All right, that doesn't bother me too much. But with a movie,
Surely
when this is
it
your
doesn't bother you that much? It kind of seems like it bothers you.
when this is your first movie, all right, this ties back into how disappointed I was as a kid, all right? Because when this is your first movie, like this is the biggest thing in the world, right? Pokemon's the biggest thing in the world when this hit. Everybody saw this fucking movie, and you come out with trash like this, okay?
Okay.
Now I expect it from the show. I knew what the show was. All right, I didn't think the show was the greatest thing in the world. I understood that, but I thought at least with the movie, I was like, oh, we have Mewtwo. It's gonna look cooler. Movies are supposed to be good. You got this hour and a half to tell a story. I didn't think this as a kid, but as you have an hour and a half to tell a story, all right, a self-contained story. It doesn't need to be part of the show.
Okay.
And they fucked it up.
Okay.
Royally. They made it like the show. That's my issue, is that it is like the show.
Okay.
I thought that was a cool aspect of the movie, how they connected each other.
See,
How
and
they
I think
connected
that
the
was
show
that's the
and how they
problem.
connected
Nowadays, I think the movies don't connect with the shows. I think
they're just like, because Dragon Ball Z has the same thing where you have a movie, but it's not canon to the show.
But the few things that really bothered me more than that it was connected to the show and was just a bad plot line is the animation wasn't better. Mewtwo's why he was mad and everything got distorted and screwed up, and it didn't make sense anymore. And it was just basic, and the whole Pokemon fighting thing and the tears thing. I just can't get over how stupid that is.
So point.
No points.
Okay. All right, John, your final thoughts. What do you think of it?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for giving me the stage after.
Oh, be quiet. You talk
all
over me all the
that.
time.
I didn't think the movie was terrible. I
Really?
thought there was some bad spots in the movie. That the missed dubs made me upset watching. I think every single time I've watched this movie, it's made me upset.
They were there on purpose, John.
But I thought there were some touching scenes in the movie. I thought, yeah, shut up. I thought there was some touching, and a lot of people agree. Like when it comes to Pikachu,
Yep.
like trying to wake up
Well, the
Ash, that
majority
is
of
a
people
very,
are wrong. It's
that is a
okay.
very emotional scene
Uh-huh.
that a lot of people know about and relate to when it comes to the Pokemon movie. Like when you mention the Pokemon movie, that's one of the first things I think of.
Agreed.
I don't know. Is that yours?
Well, of him like trying to wake him up from the
Yeah.
stone. Yep.
Or just Pikachu just having those teary eyes.
Yep.
Like when Ash finally dies.
Yeah.
But
No, that's the bad part. He doesn't die.
yeah, he doesn't technically die. He's petrified. Whatever.
What if he
Doesn't
did, though?
matter.
That's
Doesn't matter.
that's the bad part. He didn't actually die. That should be
Anyway.
into the story.
Anyway, if I had to give myself points, I would probably give myself half points
Yeah.
for this movie.
Are we gonna watch the second one?
Oh yeah, Pokemon 2000.
Yeah.
I actually like Pokemon 2000 better than the regular Pokemon.
Okay. Well, I disagree, but okay, we'll watch it.
Is it the one with like the weird guy with the weird hair? They try to capture the legendary birds.
I don't remember.
Yes.
Isn't there a
yes.
dog in it? Is that the third one?
No, that's
No.
the third one. This is the one they have.
This is the
Lugia
one with
and Ho-Oh.
Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres.
And they also have Lugia and
and
Ho-Oh.
they have Lugia. And, no, they just have Lugia. They don't have Ho-Ho.
I thought Ho-Oh was in it.
No, Ho-Ho's not in this one.
Really?
But they have Lugia in it, and it's a really cool movie. I like this movie a lot.
With a weird name. Pokemon the movie 2000.
Pokemon the movie 2000 because it came out in the 2000s.
Because everything back then had to be 2000.
That's right.
Yeah, whatever. I liked it, kinda. So we'll watch the second one. I actually like the second one better.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. So next week we are watching a Christmas classic.
Oh yeah,
It is my.
this beautiful.
It's our last movie of
beautiful-
the. It's our last season. It's the last
movie.
episode of the season. Then we're gonna take a little break, and we'll come back. But we are gonna be watching Jingle All the Way. I liked this
God.
movie a lot when I was little. I know you two haven't seen it. I'm excited to hear y'all's opinions of it. But
I've heard things.
I really liked this when I was little. I watched it recently and it's not good, and I know it's not good, but I just thought it'd be a funny.
What
one
makes
for us.
it not good? Like, what do I need to?
I'll tell you
remember
next
about
time. But I'll
How
say-
should I prepare my
there's a- there's a
butthole?
You're not
big-
gonna tell me you're not gonna spoil it for
I don't
me?
want to spoil it for you. There's a big tonal
Okay.
shift in it.
Horrible shift.
A tonal shift.
Oh.
Where like it's like going one way, and all of a sudden it just becomes a completely different movie. And you'll see it pretty quick. But anyways, but I like it a lot, and it's just a funny movie. There's a lot of Christmas movies I like more than this, but I thought this would be a good one to do because
Do you still feel like this movie's funny?
parts of it, parts
Alright.
that I
Fair.
didn't think were funny when I was little.
Fair.
But I'm ahead in the points, and so I wanted to. This is a chance for y'all to catch up. So we'll see what happens.
Apparently, I can't catch up because
No,
you
you-
guys gave me half a point. For
Neither
this.
y'all can. But I was hoping it'd be even it out a little bit. But anyways, so next week, Jingle All the Way, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Turbo Man. It's very exciting.
Yep.
You want to send us off, John?
I forgot about Turbo Man.
Turbo Man.
I remember that.
It's Turbo time.
It's Turbo time. Yeah, I forgot about that. All right. So you guys can listen to us on your favorite podcast apps. You can find us on Apple Podcasts at Another Man's Nostalgia. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I post a lot of things on Instagram. I haven't been lately because I'm going to announce it this episode. I found out that I am having a child. I'm having a child.
Physically.
I'm physically.
Because sometimes he acts like it.
I am going to be a dad.
Nice.
And I've been
Dilf?
kind of concentrating on that instead of social media. So
John's going to be a DILF.
yeah, I'm gonna be a DILF. It's
And
gonna
don't
be
worry,
good.
guys. We already had an argument. We said, John, you have to decide the baby or this podcast. And so he's going to step it up a little bit.
And I chose.
So when
I'm not gonna tell you what I chose,
So in the
but if I disappear in a couple months,
and if you hear like,
know the reason why.
it's because the baby joined the podcast.
That's right. Well, yeah, we're
So,
really
yeah.
excited for you.
yeah. Anyway, I'm really excited about this new part in my life, and yeah, it's gonna be great. So if I haven't been posting on social medias lately, and I apologize because I just found out about this a couple weeks ago. So I'm gonna try to get back into the groove of things and start posting again. I apologize if you guys have joined and you haven't seen any posts lately. You can also listen to us on YouTube. We post all of our podcasts on YouTube, so if you want to go over there and listen to it, that would be great. We played a couple games on there too. Our latest game we played is NFL Blitz. You can find that on YouTube as well.
Yep.
We also have a Patreon too.
Yep.
So if you want to go give us some money. Anyway, you can also email us at anothermanspod@gmail.com. Give us some reviews and different things. Please rate us on Apple Podcasts if you have an iPhone.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you next week with Jingle All the Way for our season finale.
Peace.